Recession in Arizona? What recession? Are is the market going into recession? Do we think in 2023 or is it not, right? That's what this article is about. We're going to cover and then some. As you guys know, we are always trying to give you updated information on where the economy is going in Arizona, developments happening around the town that are important to affect the bottom line of someone maybe living here or looking to move to Arizona. So this is a fun YouTube live we're doing today, guys. I appreciate you joining us. Again, my name is Kelly Cook here at Everything Phoenix. We are putting out YouTube lives on a weekly basis on Thursday, sometimes towards the end of the day, and sometimes during the lunch hour. Right now, we're at 12:30. Hopefully, you guys can stick with us here. This one might be a little bit shorter than normal, but it's going to be action-packed as always, and it will be a fun one to cover. Guys, we have some cool stuff to go over. I got my moon suit on here today. It's a little chilly in Arizona, actually, oddly chilly. And we're going to rock and roll on some good information, guys. So hope you can join us. If you could, as always, ask a question. Let's have this be a two-way conversation, if at all possible. Let us know where you're watching from, and we'll rock and roll. Okay, put your comments in. I'll answer them, and to the best of my ability, and we'll rock and roll. So thank you guys as always for joining here. And this article we're going to focus on first is all about a recession from the Phoenix Business Journal. So pretty reputable source. What do they think? And there's all kinds of opinions on this, guys. This is the fun part of real estate is there's all sorts of opinions. You never know what you're going to get. So let's share my screen here and let's see what we got going on. So here's the title of the article: Recession Obsession, right? I think everyone has that, guys. We all know that negative headlines sell, right? So if you want to get someone to watch something, you just talk about something negative and they just dive right in, right? No one gets home and gets on their phone now and looks up an article about something positive, right? Oh, the market went up, 0.001% today. Let's read that 10-page article. No. But if it said the economy is going to crash tomorrow, you're going to lose everything you possibly own, click here to read more, and it's a 10-page article, you're probably going to read most of it, right? That's how it works. That's how it works in the media world, right? So here we go. Recession obsession. And this there's some article. This article here talks about some people who have opinions on this based upon their research. And so let's see what they have to say. Despite previous forecasts of a looming recession, any slowdown in the Arizona economy later this year may be more like a blimp or a bump in the road. Experts say. Now, who are these experts? Well, it depends who you pull, right? You might find somebody who you say, I don't agree with you, right? You also get people who say one thing one month. The very next month, they say just the opposite, right? After some epiphany they had, right? So it just depends. You take these things with a grain of salt, guys. Right now, rates are going up. We're going to cover that here in a second. And it is not having a positive effect, let's say, on the Arizona housing market at the current time. But the good news is that because we're in our quote unquote season, it's not having near as big of effect as it probably is in other markets across the country as we speak, right? So here we go. At this point, recession odds keep getting pushed out further, particularly given the recent labor market and consumer spending data that the U.S. economy is still humming along. All right, the chief economist for CoreLogic told the Business Journal here. All right, so Case-Shiller is an index similar to the Cromford report. Case-Shiller is the U.S. national housing market, and they released a report on the 20th of February showing a 2.9% annual gain in December in home price growth in Metro Phoenix specifically, but it's down from a 6.3 gain in November. Okay, so it is declining, but there's still an annual gain year over year. So what's that mean, guys? That means that even though at the top of the housing market, okay, because we know that per the data, May 13th of 2022 was the height of the market. Since then, home prices, if you watch the channel, you know the number, right? Home prices in Phoenix have actually gone down about 14%. All right, 14%. That being said, the headline could be prices down 14%. Don't ever buy a house right now. And aren't you glad you didn't buy one earlier this year, let's say, right? But what if you bought January 1st of 2022? What if you bought in December of 21? What this is saying is that you have a 2.9 gain, all right? 2.9% gain on that house. So you still are in the good. So it just depends on where you track the data from. Because if you did buy in May of this year till now, on average, you should have negative equity. That would not be good. But if you did buy in December, you have a 2.9% gain is what they're saying here, as opposed to a 6.3% gain year over year from November to November. That's all it is saying. So resale home numbers, what are some other aspects that cause them to think a recession is not happening right now? Although we're going to get to some part in the article where somebody mentions that they see potentially a mild recession happening, or they call it a bump in the road, I believe, not necessarily a recession. More so probably towards quarter 4 of 2023 for Phoenix. But let's see what they have to say about that. In January, 4,088 resale homes were sold in Metro Phoenix, half of the 8,100 that were sold in January. Okay, according to the RL Brown Housing Report, which is a local report here. And still, home builders have experienced an uptick in demand in the last several weeks, aided by continued price discovery. So I'm going to share my screen here. Before I do that, Jacqueline, how you doing? Thanks for commenting on our channel here. And if you're going to stay in the home with a 3%, it's okay if you are negative for a bit. Yes, this is true, right? Now, we talk about this all the time, and Jacqueline, you can't be more correct. If you maybe are working in Phoenix on contract right now, and your contract's only for 6 months, 12 months, something like that, there's a finite time that's going to happen where you potentially may have to move again, or maybe you get that contract renewed here in Phoenix locally. Well, in that situation, you really need to dissect what's going on because maybe you should not buy. However, if you have the ability to be here for a while, there is no end in sight. Now, nothing in the future is obviously guaranteed, but there's no plans in the immediate future to have to move out of Phoenix. Then I would argue that the vast majority of cases, it's a good time to still buy, even if rates are higher. So I just had this conversation with a client of ours. This is a true story, guys. It just happened. So he was kind of taking a while to purchase a property, reading headlines, he would act this way. Read another headline, he would act the other way. So we had a conversation recently here, and now by the way, spoiler alert, he's under contract, which is awesome for a house that he loves, which is great. That's the end result here. But stay with me for a second. He was on the mindset of saying, well, rates are jumping up right now, because if I share my screen, which I will right now, check this out, guys. Let's jump around a little bit. Okay, rates. Mortgage rates rise to 4-month highs. That's not good, right? Okay, it's not. It's not. We'd rather have low rates. However, you can see right here, there's the graph, and whoop, there we go. Now we were down right here at a 30-year fix to darn near 6%, and then now we're back up to 6.92 according to mortgagenewsdaily.com. So that's obviously not good. So he's sitting there going, he's sitting there saying rates are increasing. I'm going to wait, because there's also a report on the horizon that everyone is circling right now on their calendar, which is right here as I share my screen. This is the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and you can see in May is the May calendar of 2023. This is the one everyone is circling on their calendar right here, the 10th. Consumer Price Index report that's coming out at 8:30 a.m. on the 10th. Why? Well, because Kelly, the CPI comes out once a month, right? It does. It does come out once a month. However, inflation at this time last year was very low, wasn't it? It was, because the market's on fire. Rates are low. It was a very good time. Now, what did we say? We said May 13th was the height of data for Arizona, and then it came down and has been decreasing since then. But it took a little while. We didn't really notice it until about June, and then of course in July we really noticed it. But the CPI started getting higher and higher, and it was the one report that happened for the first time in 2022 in May. Okay, and then it continued to climb from there. Well, because the report was so good year over year, currently in February and March, right? No one's really pointing to that right now, but they're pointing to May 10th because that's the first time all the experts are forecasting that the CPI is going to come out lower than what it was year over year for 2022, which at that point is going to potentially force the hand of the Federal Reserve to drop or at least hold steady the federal funds interest rate, which then hopefully will have an indirect positive effect on mortgage rates, and they'll start to potentially come down. And then if June is a decent report, it's going to be lower than what it was June 2022, because it was bad in 2022 of June, and then so it got worse in July and August, right? And if we are going this way and the report in 22 is going up, then this is going to create an environment in which rates will hopefully come down. And this is what everyone is kind of banking on right now. So my client was waiting to say, you know what, I'm going to wait till maybe May, see what happens June. And my question was simply this: when that happens, and if it does, okay, do you think what will happen when rates go down, if that's what happens, right, in May or June? And his question was, well, more people will jump back in the market to possibly buy. Correct. That is correct. And when that happens, what do you think will potentially happen with the ability to compete to buy a home? Well, there'll probably be more buyers that will potentially be looking for properties. Correct. And so potentially the house you want to buy, someone else may want to buy two or three or four people. Potentially, maybe not, but it's more likely, right? It is. So what if right now, this window of time that we have until potentially that happens, if it all plays out like the experts think it will, what if we simply buy a house now with a higher interest rate with zero competition? We can negotiate all the best terms possible of the contract. Yes, your rate is high. However, if you use certain lenders, like our lender is one of them, they have a guarantee where you can refinance for free for 6 months from the time you close on your loan right now. So you have 6 months of insurance to where at some point, May, June, rates come down, July, they come down, hopefully, and they do. Then you can pull the trigger, refinance into a 30-year, or you can do a 28-year at that point, or 29-year, excuse me, whatever you have. I guess it'll still be 30 years, right? Because we're in year one. But you can refinance down to that new lower rate for 30 years fixed for free, hedging your risk when buying a house today, if you choose to do it today. Okay, so that's food for thought. Now, obviously, it's not going to be a big bum rush like it was a year ago if rates start coming down, and it's going to be so oversaturated buyers that every house has four offers. No, that's not what we're looking at here. But it is going to be more competitive, and so you have a window of time right now to potentially buy with no competition, get as much off the price as possible, and get the terms you want: buy downs, rate buy downs, a 2-1 buy down, a 3-2-1 buy down, get that monthly payment down to where you need to be, and then have a chance to refinance if all the experts are correct and rates do come down. So hopefully that makes sense to a lot of people, that it's really how you look at it at the time you're looking to buy. There's positive and negative ways to look at everything at any given point in time with the economy. That's the point, I guess I'm saying. So Jackie, thank you for that question. And here we go. Jackie, what else? We are coming back down. March will get a tad better. April better. Watch May 10th. Do you watch Harry Beeb? Yes, I do actually. I do follow him, and he put out a good post recently that you probably saw, Jacqueline. So you know who Barry Habib is. That says, okay, but if inventory stays low, good point, Jacqueline. That's correct. That is exactly correct. Barry Habib is one of the foremost economists when it comes to interest rates. He's an interest rate guru guy. So if you have a chance to follow Barry Habib, I would highly recommend it. He puts out a lot of good stuff that's based on data, not headlines. Researched data, not headlines. But basically, he made a post to the effect that the jobs report that came out recently wasn't really correct, because there were 817,000 jobs, to be correct, to be exact, I should say, that actually were not accounted for back in 2022, and even I think part of 2021 in all those jobs reports. Why? I don't know. So the federal government decided to use those jobs because technically they were created just a while ago, and they front loaded it for the 2023 jobs report we just had, making it sound better than it really was. Plus, this time of year, you have a lot of seasonal adjustments or seasonal jobs that people are hiring that aren't permanent. So it made it sound better than it really was, and therefore that's one of the reasons why rates are climbing, because it's not what we think it is. And if you do some research and don't just read the headline or watch a show like this and get the real scoop, you'll be fully informed, guys, and you understand the reason as to why things are happening the way they are when maybe they don't seem like they should be based on the headlines. All right, that was a lot. I'm off my soapbox, but that's a good. People enjoy stories because you can relate to them, and that was a real story that happened to a real buyer looking to purchase a house right now in Phoenix. Okay, back to our screen share. All right, so we have that CPI report coming out. We saw what the rates are at currently. Let's go back to the recession article real quick and finish that off. All right, so obviously transaction counts are down in Arizona, but they are coming back up at a fairly healthy rate, because we're in our season, right? January, February, March, April. That's our season where we get a lot of more inventory typically and more demand in our marketplace. Okay, so they're saying Federal Reserve policy of raising interest rates will continue to put pressure on the economy. Duh, we know that. I mean, come on. But where's the point where he says his forecast? Right here. Nevertheless, slowing of economic growth is likely by the second half of the year, though it is likely to look more like an economic crawl than a full-bloom recession, with only a few quarters of less than 0.5% decline in GDP. So it's interesting, guys. So right now, people are expecting to have decent activity in Phoenix. We'll see what the economy presents at a larger macro scale. But Phoenix has so much going for it, guys. And I'm going to make the point or the case to you right now on that issue. So here we go. You ready? A couple things here. Number one, this is awesome. So Scottsdale developer greenlight to bring thousands of affordable housing units to Arizona. They are actually bringing low-cost housing. They're more like apartment units, right? Let's be clear, okay, to Phoenix and Tucson. They're doing a lot of them, a lot of units that are needed. 159 units in the North Valley in Phoenix, okay? 257 units in Glendale, 336 units in Goodyear, and 250 units in Southern Mesa are all under construction. Then, of course, you have some down in Tucson. But guys, there's one of the sites. This is good. Now, how can they make them so affordable? Well, because they have in-house everything, apparently, right? They have in-house civil engineering, they have in-house construction, and so on and so forth. That's how they're able to keep the costs down. But this is cool if they actually do stay with this. They're going to do simple floor plans and simple engineering to make the cost obviously lower, and then therefore keep the cost low for someone to purchase. Because he makes a comment at the very bottom, which I love right here. Check this out. Most of what gets built is luxury product, he says. In reality, only a small portion of workers can afford that, which is very true. For us, that void in the middle is obviously what we focus on. I love that. And he gave an income amount here on here, which I think is important, guys. They're really focusing on people that are making, in the ballpark of, I think it was like 40,000 a year, things of that nature. So, or even less, so that people have a good place, good option to go buy a nicer, newer constructed product and be able to comfortably afford it. So that's the idea. It's kind of cool because he's right. Most of the development that happens, especially in Phoenix right now, has been all luxury stuff or upper middle class stuff, and it's just hard for someone who isn't there yet to afford some of that those products, right? So there you go. That is good news in my opinion. Here we go. Cullum Homes. Now, just the opposite. That's one end of the spectrum. Now we're going to go big for you guys. Now let's go to the exact opposite end of the spectrum. You ready? When I say exact opposite, I mean exact opposite. Ultra luxurious $75 million estate to be built in Paradise Valley. That's right. 75 million. One property. There's a picture of it. I mean, we all can dream, right? So here we go. Cullum Homes and Wow Luxury Properties are partnering to build this ultra luxurious 40,000 square foot estate in Paradise Valley. Insane. So let's see what they have going on for it. 2.2 acres. Okay. By the way, let me show you the map. Okay. This is where it's located. So you can see right here, there's a red dot of where this property is located, the address. So Paradise Valley, you can see it says right here, but this is Lincoln Boulevard. Let me zoom in one more time. This is Lincoln Boulevard right here, Lincoln Drive, and it cuts right down the middle between the two famous mountains of Camelback right here and Mummy Mountain up here. Excuse me, right over here. Okay. So what you have, this is Squaw Peak and all that. So Mummy Mountain's over here. Sorry. So then you have this road that runs right through the middle, and this is the Valley of Paradise Valley. It goes all through here. And so this property is right over here. Phenomenal views. Let's zoom in on the lot. Now, obviously, this is not built yet. I'm remotely close. This is the old property that they're going to be actually readdressing, to be honest with you. But you can see the L shape. So it's right here, the back on Bethany Home, and then over here. Okay. So they're going to knock this whole thing down, build this luxury estate. Let's go back to the pictures. Holy cow. It is incredible. What it has: a basement that will include a bowling alley, indoor shooting range, golf simulator, casino room, recording studio, and movie theater with a metaverse room. A 2-story aquarium will draw light into the basement, says the co-owner of Cullum Base Homes. It was a way to get natural light, right? And so there you go. She just says that. One of the ways to achieve this is a 16,000-gallon 2-story aquarium that starts at the ground level and goes down into the basement, providing a backdrop for the casino room and family room downstairs and the kitchen and everything else. Holy moly. A showroom, okay, for a car collector, plexiglass ceiling where a homeowner can look down at the collection from their home office and check out their amazing cars that, Bugatti, Rolls Royce. I don't even know. Probably cars even more expensive than that. The cinema pool with waterfall, lazy river, island green for chipping and putting, fire pits, fireplaces. Holy cow. It will include 13 bedrooms, 16 bathrooms, and 8 half baths throughout the property, and a spa. It will have its own sauna, snow room, vitality pools, massage rooms, and locker rooms. So I wonder if I can go there for a little membership there, right? That'd be kind of cool. It will have 3 elevators in addition to the car lift. Wow, wow, wow. There's another picture of some of the yard in the back. It's L-shaped. It'll have a lazy river with a island putting green modeled after the 17th hole of TPC Sawgrass in Florida. All right, I'm gonna share my screen. Sorry, guys. I just realized you weren't seeing some of these pictures. Let's get it real quick. There's the back of the property in the backyard, and there's another rendering picture right there. Very nice, right? Very, very nice. So let me go back to the. I didn't realize I wasn't sharing my screen, guys. My apologies. So there's a house. There's a lot right there. You can see with the pin on it. Let's zoom out. Okay, and you can see that right here is Camelback, or right here is Mummy Mountain. They're two famous mountains, and then right down the middle is Lincoln Drive, which cuts down the middle of the Paradise Valley, the Valley of Paradise, right through here. So you have also area of Paradise and surrounding areas, and you got some homes on Camelback Mountain and Mummy Mountain that are just spectacular as well, with just incredible views that you would literally die for, right? I mean, they're just phenomenal views. So that's a $75 million project that will be happening over the next couple of years, and that will set a record, no doubt about it, right? Incredible. I mean, it's just incredible. That's all I can say about it. I don't have a price tag here that I could find. Unfortunately, I don't have a price tag what it's going to cost, but that would be kind of curious to know. But it's 40,000 square feet. So if you, will be around 75 million, but I don't have an exact price tag. If you want to purchase this property, just give me a call. I can help you out. I'll get more details for you. I will actually be your personal concierge for the next 2 years while it's being built. If you want to purchase this property, just give me a call and let me know. Be happy to. All right. So here we go. Some more development stuff, guys. This is crazy. So you talk about the lack of a recession in Arizona. I mean, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Yet Phoenix will be one of those places that's more unlikely to happen because of things like this. Look at this, guys. Mayo Clinic. Heard of that? It's only in 3 different states: Florida, Minnesota, Arizona. Mayo Clinic set to start work on a 120-acre Phoenix Biotech Innovation Hub, guys. Look at the rendering right there. That is absolutely incredible. So right here, you can see my cursor moving. This is the current Mayo Clinic Hospital. Now, they have another location in Scottsdale over here by the mountains. You can't see. This is their hospital, okay, right here. This whole thing that's lit up, that's their new proposed Biotech Innovation Hub. Look at all that on 120 acres. That's incredible. This is the Loop 101 that runs right through right by the area for amazing transportation. So if you go to Google Maps, you can see right here is the Mayo Clinic, okay, right there. That's the current hospital that sits there currently. Here's the 101 that runs right through here. This is the Desert Ridge area, and you have Scottsdale right here that runs vertically. Now let's zoom in a little bit so you can see the land that they're purchasing on. And I want to point something out to you guys that's just incredible, okay? This is the land right here, right by the 101. So look at this parcel of land. That is actually more than 120 acres. They're just going to use 120 of it for the moment being, but there you go. There's the parcel, okay? Okay, you have ASU doing some sort of health facility center right over here as well. So they're going to have like they're going to have the ability for younger surgeons, doctors, medical professionals to get trained with ASU. It's just a nice little marriage, and they can go right to the Mayo Clinic and start working. Pretty darn cool. Now, what I want to point out to you guys is this is prime real estate, and look at this, all this land over here that still is not developed. Now they're starting to do some things with Cabazon over here and whatnot, but I mean, there's still a lot more acres of prime real estate right here to develop on as well. But I mean, you have more land down here. It's just incredible the amount of space that still is available that is prime to be able to be developed. So Mayo Clinic taking a huge leap of faith right here and doing this, which is going to be awesome. A ton of jobs, guys. Let's just talk about it for a second. A dream of more than 10 years in the making is now coming to fruition. Mayo Clinic submitted their zoning application with the City of Phoenix to develop their Discovery Oasis, which is 120 acres on that parcel. 3.3 million square feet of medical equipment manufacturing, outpatient treatment facilities, advanced research. Guys, the goal is to establish a modern 21st century research campus to support Mayo's existing hospital and leveraging Arizona State University's Health Future Center right to the east. Incredible, guys. The new campus is intended to serve a biotech ecosystem for many collaborators and so on and so forth. Okay, so here's another picture actually of the Mayo Clinic Hospital right there. And then the land right here is in the foreground. They're going to be developing their new biotech campus, guys. So check this out. They were looking to how many jobs will this provide. They were working diligently to create a science and technology hub that was expected to carry as many 30,000 high-tech, high-wage jobs. However, we don't know if that's going to be the case just yet. Okay, we do know that in 2018, Mayo turned its attention to actually expand their hospital, which they did. This whole area right over here is newer. Okay, to the east. and that added 2,000 high wage jobs. So guys, that's just this little section right here created 2,000. So this whole hub could be in that ballpark of 30,000 new high tech, high paying jobs. So hello Phoenix, hello Scottsdale. This is pretty darn cool. If you own a piece of property or don't, i.e., a house, maybe you should buy one. I don't know, right? A rental could be a real good idea. I'm just saying. Okay, so Mayo Clinic is doubling down on Phoenix. That's the bottom line, which is awesome for our local economy. And last but not least, well, almost last but not least, I want to talk about something that's really fun, guys. For the longest time, Tiger Woods. Here we go. Pop stroke. I'm not sure you heard of this, but we're going to cover it really quick here. But let me just talk for a second. For the longest time, I, as being a resident of Scottsdale, Phoenix here for, I don't know, it's been 18, 19 years now. My wife and I always wondered, like, why is there not, you go to Florida, right? And there's all these cool putt golf places, right? I mean, I don't know about you. When I go on vacation down in the Southeast, there's putt golf everywhere, especially in Florida. Like cool putt golf, right? These themes and really, long putt golf courses, whatever, right? And it's always something we do. It's like, why not, right? You're in Florida. It's nice out. It's probably really hot, but maybe some mosquitoes, but it's nice out. And let's go play some putt golf because kind of everyone can do that, even if you stink at regular golf. So we go out there and we always play wherever we're going to vacation, if we're in Florida or maybe South Carolina, these places, right? Georgia. But for some reason, Arizona, which has amazing similar weather, it's always warm for the most part, doesn't have like really cool putt golf until now. Tiger Woods is smart, and he's an owner in this company that is actually now coming out with Pop Stroke. And check this out. They have one location already set to open very soon here in Glendale, and they're going to be in Scottsdale with a second location very soon. But guys, look at this picture. Now that is what I'm talking about. Some really cool putt golf, right? Designed by I think Tiger himself, actually. Here we go. Let's read about it. A Florida-based golf entertainment concept is set to open location in Arizona this Thursday in Glendale. So guys, get your tickets. Let's go to Glendale. Let's play some Pop Stroke mini golf. With another location coming later in Scottsdale this year. Pop Stroke Entertainment, which is owned by this guy, Tiger Woods, and TGR Ventures, blah, 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 Kid Made Golf. It's a drink, eat, play concept. Guys, so listen. If you have one already for driving the golf ball, right? It's called Top Golf. You guys, has that been successful? Yes, it has. I mean, it's everywhere now, right? Eat, drink, play. And it's driving the golf ball, playing games with that. Well, now you're going to have the same concept, but for putt. Brilliant. Like, why didn't we all think of this and do this before Tiger Woods? Granted, he has a little more money than us, I assume, but brilliant, right? So if Top Golf went, this is going to go, right? This is going to go. In fact, I say this is going to be probably even more popular because even like small little kids or people that have never maybe a bad back, they can still putt the ball. They may not be able to swing on a drive, right, off a tee box. So let's go back to here real quick. So Pop Stroke to open in Glendale location at Westgate. It's not all about the golf. You can come here and enjoy a great meal and drinks. Okay. The thought process behind designing Pop Stroke was for every stage of life, from 3 to 90. Brilliant. That there could be something to do and enjoy it for every age, right? Okay. By the way, putting is not intimidating. That is so true. That's why it's going to work. I'm calling it right now. This is going to be amazing. It's going to be all across the country in a few years. Watch. They do corporate events, birthday parties. They had an 80-year-old birthday party and a 6-year-old birthday party. It's all ages, right? It's just, I mean, just so smart. But they want to take advantage of the valley's weather, all the activities like spring training, so on and so forth. And where is that second location going to be in Scottsdale? I'm glad you asked. It's going to be near the Talking Stick Resort, which, by the way, there is already a Top Golf there. So they're going to have Top Golf concept if you want to just drive the ball and flex your muscles, right? You're going to have a Pop Stroke now if you want to just go out there and do some putt golf and bet your buddies or just, I don't know, or not. Brilliant. Storm Chaser. Here we go. Phoenix Glory Days ended in 2009. I would love if you expanded on that. Let me know why are you saying that? Let's chat about that. You could have a very good point. But let me know, Storm Chaser, what you think about that. We're almost going to wrap this up, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. I am thrilled that to have Pop Stroke expand into Arizona, Woods said in a statement. And they're looking at the third location already, guys, where they're exploring even more expansion in the Phoenix area, down in the Gilbert Santan Valley area, which is the East Valley, okay? And even down into Tucson, which would be a fourth location. Company is also working on opening new locations in Delray Beach, Florida, Las Vegas, Nashville, and Frisco, Texas. By the way, in Westgate, opening soon, you have a 2-story Thirsty Lion gastropub and 11,000 square foot chicken and pickle facility, which will feature 10 pickleball courts. Guys, brilliant. These people are smart, guys. It's brilliant. Pickleball is taking the world by storm, right? Who plays pickleball out there? Come on, let me know. You guys should be playing tennis, but I know it's a little more work. So, so we're playing pickleball now, which is cool. I love pickleball. I love it. But now you can apparently get some chicken and play pickleball, and I'm sure probably some adult beverages all at the same time, right? Because you can play doubles and just stand there, right? Pickleball and just like have a root beer and pickleball, right? Probably won't even break a sweat. So, guys, that's really, really cool. Now we have one more thing we're going to cover here, just really fast. I'm share my screen again, and that is the Cromford report. We're just going to cover it really quick because we're up on time here. But the contract ratio for all areas and types has risen above 60. Okay, this means we are officially in a hot market again. Locally, we're talking Maricopa County, Phoenix area, Greater Phoenix area. You should therefore anticipate house prices to rise over the coming months. This is as of March 1st, which is yesterday, right? No matter what you read in the media, which tends to base their reports and projection on housing data that is one of several months out of date, such as the S&P Case-Shiller Home Price Index. Okay. The opportunity to buy at the bottom of the correction occurred in the fourth quarter of 2022. Congratulations if you bought when everyone else was fearful. That was good market timing, guys. You know what Warren Buffett says, right? What he says: get greedy when others are fearful. Be fearful when others are greedy. And apparently, as of March 1st, looking at data alone, guys, the Cromford report is not a brokerage. They don't sell real estate. They don't have a dog in the hunt. They are just providing data and then interpreting it for all of us after looking at thousands of data points. So that's encouraging. Now, obviously, they come out with a commentary once every couple times every week. This could change. But as of yesterday, we're officially in a market in which you will see home prices continue to rise in the short near term. Okay, so there we have it. Storm Chaser. Oh, here we go. Let's see here. Rental prices in overvalued homes with wages not nearly keeping pace with inflation mean either you go into large amounts of debt, have incredible salary jobs, or have rich parents to help. Well, there's no doubt about the latter. That always helps, that's for sure. But not most of us don't have that, right? Have incredible jobs, salary jobs. Yes, there's some of that too, and it's getting better, right? I mean, Phoenix is getting better at that overall as a whole. And then you have to not nearly keep pace with inflation, mean either you go into large amounts of debts. Yeah. So if you overpay for a house now what's overpaying for a house? Right. That's very subjective. But the reality is, if the monthly payment becomes too much for you to afford, then a house certainly is overpriced for the average person if the average person cannot afford a monthly payment. And this is why you're starting to see home values decrease. Now, they had decreased 14% since the high in 2022. So it has come down 14%, which is good, very good for home affordability. By the way, I did a video on this, guys. Home affordability in Phoenix has dropped. So 100 is the average for the average affordability index for the average city across America. Phoenix right now is at 130, but it's down from 150 just several months ago, which is about that same percentage decrease of home values, affordability overall, which, again, lower affordability goes, the better. Everything else goes up, it's good. Affordability goes down, it's good, right? So affordability has decreased. We'll see if it continues to do so. But the average person in Phoenix has to be able to afford a house on a monthly payment basis. Otherwise, what will happen? They'll leave and they won't buy. And so either A, you're right, Storm Chaser, those prices on rentals or from a mortgage standpoint have to come down to where income and wages are. Otherwise, people will leave and the housing market will continue to slide. Or other side of it is they can stay right about here where they're at after it came down 14%, and wages will continue to increase. Higher paying jobs will continue to pour into Phoenix, and you have the ability for people to step their game up on an income basis to afford the average home, and the average monthly payment. So it's going to be one of the two. You're right. It's always this pull and give and take situation, symbiotic relationship, right? Running on altitude. Thanks for commenting. I appreciate it. Difficult to make sense of the current market. Yeah, it is. And that's why we're trying to break it down for you every single week on these YouTube's lives and providing other values, other videos, excuse me, throughout the week on the market updates and or what's going on across the Phoenix area, right? And then also too, who would have thought undersupply, multiple offers on some homes? You're right. We just had to happen on 2 properties here over the past couple of weeks. It is happening, but we have seen over the last 2 weeks, okay, especially last week, as rates have just continued to increase, that has slowed down. So there is no doubt a direct response with supply and demand when the average consumer, when the consumer knows that rates are increasing, therefore the affordability is being eroded, they will pull back. And so it's not until you have a period of time that passes that the consumer gets used to a certain interest rate. That's why I always said, hey, if rates are going to be at 6% or whatever they're going to stay at, longer term, let's say for a year or whatever, or 2, if you're going to stay at 6%, then let's give them the 6% and let's just keep them there, because then we can all start getting used to it. We can all, be conditioned to it, and hopefully, either income comes up or home prices come down, but whatever, we can condition to the rate so that we know at least where we're probably going to be for a while. So therefore we can make a decision to buy right now, right? That's kind of my thought process on it. But when the Fed keeps jacking with the rates and you don't know every time they meet if it's going to go up or not, this is not a good environment, right? So we need them to just relax, hopefully get inflation under control. I know it's not the Fed, that's our government, but hopefully our government can get inflation under control. Therefore the Fed can do their job and not freak everybody out, right? And keep rates just somewhat consistent, even if they are higher than what we're used to over the past several years, right? Which they will be for a little bit of time. Okay. Michael, what's going on, Michael? I believe it's going to continue to go down. Affordability, yeah, it very well could be. I mean, obviously, a lot of the development we talk about on this channel that's coming to Phoenix is very, very positive. However, development takes what? Time. So it takes a little bit of time to maybe have some of these more higher paying jobs start filtering into the Phoenix economy, local economy. Some are already happening, right? The TSMC plant is not fully up and running yet, but they're already hiring engineers and people of that nature to finish out the build project. In fact, we have a client who's actually coming down here from Colorado, who just got hired by TSMC, and he is an engineer. He's a high paid engineer. And so he's coming down here to, and he'll have a contract with his firm on that project. I think he said for at least the next 5 years, at least, right? Because that plant in North Phoenix is for Taiwan Semi Manufacturing Conductor, right? For these chips, is huge. Huge, right? They have their own concrete plant out there, for crying out loud. All right. Running at altitude. Wages do not appear to be going down. Yeah, that's good. That's very positive, and that's true. So hopefully that we can keep it that way. I agree. People will be conditioned to these current rates. People are waiting for rates to come down, but that is not the reality. Right now, you are correct. It's not. In fact, we all know that, here's the graph right here, right? What will happen over the next month? There's the graph. What will happen over the next month? Hopefully we start seeing this reverse trend, right? But we don't know. Okay. Lovely growing cities like Gilbert, Chandler, and others. I will consider Arizona possibly later in the future with a better affordable issue. Arizona and Texas have some similarities. I 100% agree. And by the way, Chandler, Gilbert, and others, they are lovely cities, and the East Valley is phenomenal, right? Very good cities. I would highly recommend to consider if you're going to move to the Phoenix area. But they will continue to grow, even with rates going up, or even with potentially some of these development projects taking longer to get started for the jobs to pour in and actually take place. It's going to continue to grow, guys. The population influx to outflux is last time I checked was well over 3 to 1, and so it's going to continue to increase, in my opinion. So that's going to drive demand, which will drive housing, whether it's the affordable housing that I could look at, or whether it's just regular housing, or whether it's luxury housing. Depends on the type of income you have when you come over to Phoenix, right? So I don't know. In the short term, I think you play that game, right? Values will go up of homes, values will go down. But if you have a perspective of the long term, you will win. I don't know anybody. I said this again. I'll say it, and I'll say it again, guys. I don't know anybody who says, "Man, I wish I wouldn't have bought that house 10 years ago," because it does this, right? But it doesn't do this like a straight line. This was the aha moment for me a couple years ago when a mentor of mine said this. He goes, "What happens is it goes like this, but it goes like this in a 45-degree angle, if you will, up over long stretches of time." So keep that in mind, guys. It's all about your exit strategy. And then came out to Phoenix for a trail race and cannot believe how beautiful the area is. That makes sense. Running at altitude, you had a trail race. Love that. I wonder where you ran. I'm an Ironman kind of guy. Whatever, right? So I enjoy that aspect. I don't necessarily enjoy the running part, guys. I enjoy the challenge and what it does to you mentally and physically, but especially mentally, how it forces you to expand your horizons, right? To do something you probably thought you couldn't ever do. So really, really cool. Thank you for watching the show here, guys. Everyone who commented, I really appreciate it. We're going to grow this channel. We're going to get bigger. We're going to do better and bigger things. We're going to have guests that will be coming on our live in the future as well. We're working on that for the future here. So thank you very much for supporting our channel. And like us, subscribe, get us out to more people. And guys, have a wonderful rest of your Thursday. And thanks for joining us here on your quote unquote lunch hour. So thanks, guys. Have a wonderful day.